and welcome to the Geek Legion edition. This is going to be my Blu-ray update for the month of June 2019. Fairly meagre pickings this month, to be honest. I didn't get any bonus at work, so I had to be a little bit careful. So I don't have quite as much, but we have, a few ones to get through. Just a quick DVD one I picked up. I did recently a new episode of the Car Boot to eBay Sale Challenge, and that should be up a little while later. And I did pick up a couple of Blu-rays with that, but that's for the selling. So, but I found this one myself just to kind of like a horror film I'd not seen before, so I picked this one up. So just one DVD to watch from that. Onto the Blu-rays. I got this one from Amazon Germany. This is a little-known TV series that stars Matthew Fox from the probably best known from Lost, I would say. And this was cancelled. It only lasted less than a season, I think. And it was a kind of horror, ghost-based season and a ghost-based show. And I remember it being pretty good. I watched it when it was on sort of cable TV here in the UK, or satellite TV more accurately. And yeah, I remember it being pretty good, so I picked this up from Amazon Germany. It's got a slip case and all that. Don't remember what it was about, but I remember I liked it. This was quite an interesting one. So this is the Roger Corman Fantastic Four, and this is the most official release that it's ever had. Now, you would describe this one as a grey release. So, this movie has never been officially released by a film company. However, this is released direct from the director's own company, and how they've got away with it, they've said it's a commentary edition, i.e. you are allowed to commentate on things and therefore somewhat kind of release it, because it's released as a commentary first and a film second. You can watch it without the commentary, and it has actually been kind of jazzed up a little bit in 1080p. So it's actually it's the best quality version of the movie that's ever been made. Actually has a couple of special features on it. Still not a proper official, like from a film company's version, but it is as official as you can get them. I mean, this isn't this is not a bootleg. It is a commentary edition, so therefore it is actually classed as a grey release. Anyway, so that is the Fantastic Four Blu-ray from Roger Corman that was never a release. It was only ever made just to hold on to the rights. So there you go. Onto some steelbooks, one for the Arnie collection. This is Maggie. This is Arnold's foray into horror and a zombie film. This was okay. I think this movie doesn't have a lot of rewatchability, if I'm honest. And I only really picked it up because it was cheap, and I kind of want to try and get at least one of every Arnie film that is available on steelbook on a steelbook format. So this means getting this one as well. This one's pretty fun. This is called Death Machine, and this is a German metal pack. Now, they actually call this a steel turbine. In case you don't know, the term steelbook is not a format, it is actually a company name. Think of it like sellotape. That is not a description of an item, it is a name of a company, but people associate it with an item. So, to be a steelbook, it has to come from a certain company. So this is why the other companies make steel packaging, but with different names. This one's got the kind of the hinged back, so it's more a metal pack. But this company calls it a turbine steel. Anyway, this is a kind of a fun robot-based kind of sci-fi horror movie that stars Ellie Hogarth, I believe. And there you go. Sticking with sci-fi, a film that I feel doesn't get talked about nearly enough, Starship Troopers. This is the UK steelbook. There has been an American release with a very different artwork, but I prefer the original poster artwork, to be honest with you. And this is a great science fiction movie, very violent, has a political edge to it, and some really kind of quite OTT gore, to be honest with you. But a great movie that I feel isn't spoken about enough these days. Okay, this is the Final Fantasy Kingsglaive. Now, a little bit of an interesting story with this and a couple of other ones. I actually bought a lot of eBay, as in a collection of steelbook cases without the discs. There was about 20 of them, and there were some pretty good ones. And yeah, it only cost me 18 quid for like 20 steelbooks. None of them had discs, and this was one of them. So I've been kind of like buying the discs on the regular editions and then putting them in here. A couple of them I've sold, and a couple of them I probably won't even bother getting the discs for, to be honest with you. And a couple that I've wanted to get the discs for and keep, and this is one of them. Admittedly, the condition isn't great. I don't know if you'll see on here, there is some kind of like corrosion on the actual steelbook. But nonetheless, like I've said, it wasn't a lot of money, so yeah, I picked this one up. This was another one, True Detective Season 1. Never actually seen this show. I've heard good things about it. And this was another one of those steelbooks that I had got in this lot. One that I decided to kind of like buy the disc for from a separate release and then keep. This one has this nice PET sleeve. And this was the third one that I picked up and that I had bought the discs for. And this is the original version of the Big Trouble in Little China from Arrow. And they've re-released a version of this with a different cover on it, but this is the original version of it. And once again, I bought the Arrow disc to obviously put in that. Doesn't have the J card, which is a bit of a nag, but there you go. It's a fantastically fun movie. My other one's sealed, so I can kind of watch this one now. And if you know me, you know I like a bit of Marvel action, and this one is the new Zavi release for the Black Panther movie, and this one has this like lenticular magnet like they've been doing in a lot of their ones. Now I get the 3D ones because I don't have 3D or 4K, but I only buy it for the collectible packaging. And the 3D ones are slightly cheaper, and since I'm not going to watch either of them, it doesn't really matter to me which version that I get. So that is the Black Panther film, a film I personally feel is somewhat overrated, but nonetheless it's still an enjoyable movie. And then lastly for this update, this is the Avengers, this is the American version of this movie that was released. Now in the UK, the reason why I got the American one is I already have the UK version of this steelbook, but that actually says Avengers Assemble, and that's actually printed on the steelbook. So I wanted to get this one because obviously it just says Avengers, so the actual steelbook is slightly different. The Age of Ultron one is more or less the same, so I didn't bother getting that. But in the UK, Avengers is called Avengers Assemble, and our steelbook actually says that printed on the actual book, not on the J card. So that kind of makes it different, but it means I needed to get the American version to kind of have both versions, so to speak. So that is the Avengers steelbook. Now, going into next month, there's a lot on pre-order that is due out in July, so I probably won't be picking up any older, or very much in regards to older releases, but there is a fair amount coming out. Steelbooks, media books, some other bits and pieces that are all coming pretty soon. So there you go. Thanks for watching. And anything here strike your fancy, leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.